Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. How many times have we said it doesn't matter if you lose a fight, so long as you learn from it, you can come back. You know, maybe you lost it for a legitimate reason, maybe you just didn't have experience, whatever the excuse. Defeats needn't mean anything unless you let them mean something. Well, Reece Bellotti lost 3 in a row. He lost a couple of decisions, one of them to Jordan Gill. Then he got knocked out in 3 rounds by Raymond Ford. That was between 2019 and 2021. And since then, he's gone 3 fights in which he's won the Southern Area title, a 7th round stoppage of Dean Dodge. He scored a great 10-round victory over Youssef Houmani, who was 15-1-1 at the time. And now he's gone and stopped the previously undefeated Aqib Fiaz, who was 12-0. And he's now the Commonwealth super-featherweight champ. That was a vacant belt that was on the line. He stopped Fiaz in 8 rounds, but it's actually an 8-round retirement. At the end of the 8th round, well, prior to that, actually, Aqib Fiaz had been floored. And then Bellotti was putting the heat on him, about to floor him again, and the towel came in as the bell went. Jamie Moore is Fiaz's trainer. And the referee kicked the towel out, but Moore actually did retire Fiaz on his stool after 8 rounds. So, yeah, I mean, talk about maximising your talent, learning from your mistakes. Bellotti is now 17 wins with 14 KOs, 5 defeats, 2 by stoppage, no draws. He's 32 and he's got plenty left because this was an extremely good performance by Reece Bellotti. Yeah, it's an undefeated kid who early on is very, very slick. He's only 24, Fiaz. He can come back. He can learn from his mistakes. He can learn from this first defeat. And he showed some good skills early on. He was slick. He was sharp. He had been floored in his previous fight in the 6th round against a guy called Costin Ion, who I'd known absolutely nothing about. But he won an 8-round decision. But he doesn't seem to take the best of punches, although I wouldn't say he was necessarily that chinny, because the one that put him over really was, I think, a body punch and then to the head, I think it was, against Bellotti. But he showed some slick skill, some good technique, and he didn't fire nearly enough punches. He wasn't busy enough. He looked like he was a bit worried about going beyond 8 rounds for the first time. And maybe this was just a learning defeat for him. But Bellotti was like a man possessed. From the word go, he was marching forward, slinging punches with both fists, working the body. He didn't mind what he was hitting, head, body, arms, elbows, shoulders, didn't matter. He was going to really put it on Fiaz, and he did just that. And even though Fiaz kept his composure quite well for the first three rounds, nevertheless, you could tell that over a 12-round fight, with the inexperience of Fiaz never having gone beyond 8, it was going to be a tall order for him to survive. And unfortunately for him, he just couldn't live with Bellotti. Bellotti increased the pressure. He certainly kept it on at a very, very high octane sort of rate. He's been 12 rounds before. He lost on points to Ryan Walsh for the British featherweight. I think it was featherweight, not super featherweight title. Split decision. And he looked like man against boy, to be honest with you. Which I suppose it is when you consider that Bellotti is 32 and Fiaz is only 24. So well done to Reece Bellotti. I think he's now a 2-weight Commonwealth champ, featherweight and now super featherweight. And he's got something left. Why not the British title? Why not the EBU title? Because this guy looks reborn, and it just shows you, if you learn from your mistakes, it was a really mature performance from Bellotti. If you can just keep going, keep learning, stay dedicated, stay in the gym, maximise your talent, just shows how far you can take and how far you can go. And Aqib Fiaz should learn from Reece Bellotti's example, because he's young enough to come again. But this was a really good fight. Really enjoyed it. It was on the undercard on the DAZN show of Linares and Catterall. Go and have a look at it. Let me know what you think. Comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. Takes a second. Pop. Oh, and the thumbs up one as well. Cheers. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Bye for now.